Okay, I think we'll wait a couple more minutes for late arrivals, but if those of you who are here can remember to silence your cell phones, please. Um, and if we've got anybody listening remotely, would you mute yourself so we don't get feedback in the system? And Fran, are we close? Sort of. Okay. All right. Well, I'm Ginny Batterson, and I've been part of the village for a little while and pretty new to the board, and I'm very interested in transportation. I'm a big fan of the bus and trolley system in San Diego, but I'm not here to present. Um, I've sort of lassoed a friend, Steve Gelb, who's active with San Diego 350, to give a little presentation about what our options are for transportation. And I have a plug for something that's happening later this month. So every couple of months, the village puts on something called a member-to-member forum. And the next one is Friday, April 24th, and it's about transportation. So as you're going out, Fran will have a list of little handouts with some of the background of available options. Our care committee did a really good job a couple of years ago of coming up with different ways you can get around if you don't want to drive by yourself. So that will be available as background, or if any of you want to do some research or homework between now and the 24th of April, that'll be available as you leave. So our speaker today is Steve Gelb. Steve is a fairly long-time resident of San Diego. He's the board president of San Diego 350, which is a local environmental organization. He's also a member of its transportation team. Since 2022, he has represented City Council District 7, which is where we live, on the City of San Diego Mobility Board. Steve taught in the University of San Diego's Teacher Education and Leadership Studies program before retiring in 2015. In addition to working for the environment, he enjoys cycling and playing with his 3 grandchildren. He lives in Linda Vista, so please welcome Steve Gelb.
Thank you, Ginny. It's a pleasure to be here. I've heard about this group from my friend Mark, who I've known since 3rd grade. So anyway, I'm happy to talk with you about transportation, which is a passion of mine. And I did ride my bicycle today from Linda Vista. Had a really nice time. Actually got here earlier than I thought, so I've been waiting for you to arrive. So it looks like my presentation is not on the screen yet. Here we go.
You might turn off your phones, everybody. Yeah, so it does. Yeah.
Okay. So San Diego 350, the group that I work with, is building a movement to work against the changes to the climate that are threatening all of us and threatening the planet. That's all I'm going to say about San Diego 350. I'll just mention it has 10 different teams: transportation team, electrification of building team, raise the alarm team, plant forward team. So if you're interested at all, you can look at their website. They do lots of events, and there's lots of ways to get involved. So one thing we know is not everyone can drive. And a recent book called When Driving is Not an Option actually included a study and found that up to 30% of people nationwide are not able to get around by cars. And this is a huge problem for a society that has been built upon the idea that everybody can drive. And it's just not true. People who might have a suspended license, people with disabilities, people who are not old enough to drive or too old to drive. Uh, all of these can be reasons why people won't have cars. And if you don't have a car, it's an enormous handicap. It's a social justice issue because it keeps you from getting to medical care, education, employment opportunities, recreation. So this is a huge problem we have because some people in this city assume that you don't have to support transit or other alternatives because why doesn't everybody just drive their private car? This is a map of the trolley system that we have. And the trolley system is probably the best part of our mass transit because it goes so many places and it's fairly frequent at 15-minute intervals. I mean, and for us, that's great. I was in Vancouver, British Columbia, and they have a fantastic thing called the Skyway. It's a train that goes downtown all the way out to all the suburbs. And it comes every 2 to 3 minutes. And it's filled up every 2 to 3 minutes because so many people are taking it. But for us, 15 minutes is great because many of our options are every 30 minutes or even every hour. So and you can see it's pretty extensive. It goes all the way out to Santee. It goes out to UTC with the new and Veterans Hospital with the new Blue Line, and all the way down to the border. I've taken it down to the border and then walked across into Tijuana, which is a really easy thing to do. Um, and of course, to go downtown as well. When I go to the Padres games, it's always on the trolley. So how do you get to the trolley from Tierra Santa? Yeah, good luck is right. Well, one way is the 25 bus, which, as you know, or maybe some of you may not know, only comes Monday through Friday. And at that, it is every 30 minutes. Well, no, it's hourly, only hourly. So it's pretty limited. And you know, if you miss it, you got to wait an hour. It's not very convenient. Um, so that's one option.
So is it, can you go back, is it
Yeah.
30 minutes from Santo down
Yes.
to Fashion Valley?
Yeah, that's how long it will take.
30 minutes, but the hourly is every time a bus comes.
Yes,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, another option is if you want to drive down to Walmart. So everybody know where Walmart is on Murphy Canyon Road.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bus that's more often and that does run on Saturday and Sunday, and that's the 928 bus. So it's every 30 minutes. It's much earlier and later, so you don't have to, if you're doing something downtown, you can, you can park there and you can come back at, as late as 9:37. So other rail options that exist for people in our area, and these are options from Old Town. The Old Town Transit Station is really a great transit station. It's got the coaster, the Amtrak, the Green Line, the Blue Line. So there's lots of things to do as well as many buses. So if you take one of your options down to Fashion Valley and then take the Green Line trolley to Old Town, you could hop on the Amtrak and go to LA or to Santa Barbara, to San Luis Obispo once a day to San Luis Obispo. I've taken the Pacific Surfliner to LA many times. It's wonderful. It's lots of room. It's surprising, much more room than you get on an airplane. And they've got a coach car where you can buy stuff and you walk around and go along the ocean. It's pretty. So it's a great opportunity. It's about 2.5 hours to LA. You can take the coaster, which is between San Diego and Oceanside. And then there's the Sprinter, which goes from Oceanside to Escondido. And that's a fun ride as well. So I want to talk a bit about electric bikes. I came here today on this electric bicycle from where I live in Linda Vista down by Fashion Valley. I think it's about 9 or 10 miles. And it took me about the same amount of time or less time than it would have taken on transit, um, more time than driving. But it was a very nice ride. I felt safe all the time. I was in bike lanes all the time. And with the pedal assist, I don't have to worry about going up a hill. The, 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 the bike is engineered so well that I don't need the assist if I'm going in a level place. But it's great to have it if it's a stiff wind or if you're going uphill or if you're just in a hurry. So I have gone 13,200 miles in the last 5 years on this bicycle. It's my primary form of transportation. I ride it to Ocean Beach to the People's Food Co-op. I've got two big things that I can put on the bike. I load it up with food and I ride home. There are a lot of people now who are using bikes to transport children because there are cargo bikes, and people use cargo bikes to make deliveries in cities where it's very congested. They can do it more quickly with a cargo bike. But there's a number on Facebook, there's a group of mothers who use their cargo bikes for their groceries and to take their kids to all their lessons. So cargo bikes are a fantastic opportunity to substitute for driving when you don't need to. I mean, I have a car as well, but I don't use it so often because this bike will take me mostly where I need to go. Um, there are three kinds of really electric bicycles. Mine is the class 1, which means I have to pedal for it to go. It won't go otherwise. And when I reach 20 miles per hour, the assistance is not there. It has 4 levels of assistance. So I can ride with no assistance, a little bit more, or the top level. But even with assistance, if I hit 20 miles per hour, it stops and I'm on my own. Uh-oh,
Is it intuitive or do you have to move it up?
Mark?
I'm getting it back.
Okay. No, it's really intuitive.
It moves like gear shifts up?
There's a little button and I just push it up or down as I wish. And it's very simple. And
So you have to shift it. Yeah.
oh, you do have to shift it. It's not like an automatic shift in a car. Yeah. The the class 2 bicycles are the same as mine, except they have a throttle. So some people like that. What that means, it's like having a little gas. Not that it's on the floor. It's on the handle, but you push it, and then it makes the bike go without pedaling. And then you have the class 3, which also have a throttle, and they go up to 28 miles an hour before the assistance stops. Now, there are a lot of things that people are claiming to be e-bikes that are really not. And these are causing safety problems because sometimes a parent will buy something for a child that's supposedly an e-bike, but it goes 35 miles per hour and it may not have pedals. So Catherine Blakespear has introduced a law to try and stop the mislabeling of these things that are more properly motorcycles. So there's a lot of problems with
They know pedal.
some of them have no pedals.
Oh, they just.
They just have a throttle. Just go.
Wow.
They're like a motorcycle, right? So these things are dangerous for anybody, but especially for children. Yeah. So trying to remember what my next slide was. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so what I wanted to mention is if you're interested in getting an e-bike, and I hope you are, go see Matt at Electric Bike Central. You know where Old Town is. If you go south of Old Town on San Diego Road, before you get to Washington, there is Electric Bike Central. Matt is the sweetest man in the world. He will let you ride anything just to try it out. And he has nothing but quality bikes, and the prices have really come down now. So I spent 3,000 for my bike 5 years ago, and it's a really high quality bike, but people are buying electric bikes for less than $1,000 now. And with the price of gas, every trip that you substitute, it pays for itself in no time, right? Okay, there are other services that people can use. Um,
And I have some in the handout that you'll get on the way out.
right, and I learned about most of these from Ginny, actually. So, Jewish Family Services, which is the biggest service, has up to 10 rides a month, although there can be some exceptions, and you'd have to talk with them if you want to get more rides than 10. Elder Care has something called the Seniors Go-Go program, and you can look up any of these online to get some of the details because they all have various instructions on how you get the rides. If you're a member of the First UU Church of San Diego, which I am, and Mark is, and Ginny is, I don't know if anybody else here is. You look familiar to me. Are you a member?
That you know, Mark, I
Okay, gotcha. Anyway, and I assume other churches as well that people may belong to have volunteer services to help members. So in our church, a person named Christy Smith sends out a message to people who have volunteered to be drivers and says, um, Patricia Kaplan needs a ride to Kaiser Vanderveer on Monday morning, and she lives in Mission Valley. Can anybody take her? So I'm actually taking somebody tomorrow to Kaiser Vanderveer because I live close to Mission Valley and that person does. So other options that exist as well, MTS has something called MTS Access Paratransit Service for people with disabilities. You must be ADA, American Disabilities Act, certified or shown to have a disability to qualify. And then there are some facilitated options. So this factsd.org, they have wheelchair accessible vans. They charge money. GoGo Grandparent is for people who don't have smartphones. So many of the options today, like Lyft or Uber, require a smartphone. But if you don't have one, and why should you if you don't want one? They just bring a lot of heartache, don't they, with all the doom scrolling. You can call GoGo Grandparent and they will call Lyft and Uber or use the app and set it up for you. And then, of course, your organization, TVSD, has an agreement that people can trade things to one another. So you may have a service you can offer and you'll do it in exchange for somebody giving you a ride to the airport, maybe.
And it's a works on an hourly balance. So it's if you have 15 hours in your time bank, you can get 15 rides to the airport if you need them.
Okay. Yeah.
15 hours worth of rides, sorry.
Yeah. So that's the end of my presentation, and now we can have discussion and questions. This last slide is the coaster. And one of the things I didn't mention is that, you can take bicycles on trains and on buses as well. All the MTS buses have something in the front that pulls down that people can put their bikes on. There's space for two bikes. I do that with my non-electric bike because I don't think I'm strong enough to get my electric bike onto the rack. And it takes a little practice. The first time you use that thing, you know, it's a, you usually make.
Driver get out and help you?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it's simple once you see it done. But yeah, so that's an easy way to take your bike and go different places. Yeah,
That 928 bus from down in Murphy Canyon.
yeah.
If we take the 928 bus from Murphy Canyon and we go someplace on it, do we ride the 928 to get back? Is it the same bus? Are we able to use it to get back to Murphy Canyon?
I can I answer that?
Okay.
You get there.
Seems like a straightforward
So,
question.
yeah, okay, go ahead.
Get by the mic, Jenny, if you're gonna answer.
He can handle it.
So yes, I mean, you would, depending on where you're coming from, if your connection was at the Fashion Valley Transit Station, you'd hop on the 928 and it would take you exactly back where you started and your car is parked by Walmart. Yeah. Perfect.
If you don't have a car, how do you get to Walmart?
Right. So how, if you don't have a car,
If you don't have a car, how do you get to Walmart?
so I'm sure people in this group can answer that question.
Yeah, and let me stand by the
Okay.
the
I
microphone
mean-
here.
I mean, all these alternatives that we've talked about, you know, with the, if you don't have a smartphone and you don't have a car, you can call the alternative I said, and they'll get you a Lyft or an Uber to get you there.
Yeah, Jim.
While Jenny's answering the next question, could you do me a favor? Bring your bicycle in and show it to us.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
okay. Well,
Yeah,
you go and
I can gab for a long time. So. So, my experience of the transit system is a little bit different in that I tend to map out things ahead of time. So one of the things that is an adjustment if you're trying to get used to substituting for a car is it's probably going to take longer and it's probably not going to be quite as direct. But I have lassoed Jean Kerr into occasionally going downtown with me, and there is a 235 bus that's called a high-speed bus that stops at the corner of Ruffin and Claremont Mesa Boulevard by the Kaiser Permanente complex. And once you get there, and it's a little awkward finding parking there because it's on street or in the Kaiser lot. But if you can find parking there or walk, which is a little more than a mile, which is a little bit long, you can get the 235 downtown in about 5 stops. And it takes about 25 minutes. So it's almost as fast as driving, and you don't have to pay to park. And for seniors, a single ride is $1.25. Now it may go up, but that's a whole lot cheaper than gas at the current going rate. So Steve's going to show you his bike.
so there's my bike. Battery is here. It weighs about 48 pounds with the battery.
How
The
much
battery's
does
got
that
9
weigh?
pounds. What?
How much does that weigh?
Yeah.
About 48 pounds.
Stand by the mic so those other
Hey,
folks.
Steve, we've got a few people that from remote that would like to see that. So if you could kind of wheel over in front of that podium there you go.
Yeah.
Could you
So,
do a couple wheelies?
so it does weigh about 48 pounds. Some of the really expensive electric bikes are very light. Trek makes one that's carbon, weighs like 18 pounds. But typically they're more heavy because they have to have a battery. The battery comes out. So it's very convenient if you want to just take it inside somewhere while your bike's outside and recharge it, you can do that. The 235 bus that Ginny mentioned goes all the way up to Escondido. It's a very good fast bus. It stops at City College as well on the way downtown. Um, so yeah, that's an excellent bus. And when I was riding my bike here, I did see the stop by the hospital for the 235. Yeah.
Okay, so you can take this battery out and charge it. How long does it take to charge a battery?
Just a couple of hours, depending on how far it's run down.
Uh,
It might be like about 4 hours if I'd really gotten,
Depleted, yeah.
depleted. And I've ridden this bike to Ramona.
On one charge, back and
yes.
forth?
Not back and forth.
Oh, see, that would be, it's like an electric car.
I
You
still,
know, you really have to plan your trip because
Yeah.
how would it be if you ended up in nowhere and your battery was dead?
the thing is though, I can take the charger with me, and the charger is very simple.
Can shake the charger. Oh, charger.
It's a very simple 120-volt charger. It's nothing like an electric car where you have fancy stuff, and you can
Plug it in
Plug it in anywhere.
when you have lunch.
Plug it in while you're having lunch. Yeah. I wanted to mention also, some people are worried about their balance, especially as we get older. But there are all kinds of people are riding tricycles, electric bike tricycles.
So I have an electric trike.
Okay, tell us about it.
And it's sort of a cargo trike, and I thought about riding it up here, but then I'd have to get it back. So I didn't bring it today. But it has electric assist. It has 3 gears, and I have to switch gears on the handlebars, but it's fairly easy. And it's supposedly, I've never tried it, goes 30 miles on a charge. And so mostly I ride it up and down Claremont Mesa Boulevard because I have a plot at the community garden behind the Lutheran Church. And from my house near the high school to the community garden is about 1.25 miles. And it's uphill getting there. And it's a whole lot easier on the trike than walking. It takes me about half as long. And the cargo area in the back is enough for about 7 gallons of water or 2 or 3 big bags of groceries. And it's probably not quite as heavy as this. I keep it in my shed at home and I lift it to push it into the shed and back. And I got it from a different electric bike place over in Santee. But there are more and more places now that do that. And I've never had trouble with balance on the trike. I mean, it's got a fairly good wheelbase and, 2 wheels in back and 1 wheel in front. And Terrasana, among other things, is pretty good about bike lanes. Both Terrasana Boulevard and Claremont Mesa Boulevard have dedicated bike lanes. And if you go south of Terrasana Boulevard on Santo, there's a bike lane that even has barriers. So if you want to go visit somebody in the military housing complex, it's a really, really easy ride. So anyway, I'm gabbing, and you probably have a couple more questions, and then we need to get on with the rest of the
Right. No, that's
meeting.
good.
So thank you.
I wanted to mention for driving across the 15, the best way to do it is on Claremont Mesa. I would not do it on Arrow Drive. I have done it, but I won't do it anymore. And I won't do it on Balboa. Just too much traffic, too much going in and out. Yes,
Can you ride it on the sidewalk?
that's not legal.
You say it is illegal?
Yeah, I mean, I
Just
think
a state.
Joe drove on the sidewalk.
I don't think it's legal to ride on the bicycles on the sidewalk. I'd have to check the rules, but it's not a good practice. Yeah, I can understand why people might have safety concerns, but
I think what Anne had was not a bike or a trike. She had an electric scooter. So she was legal on the sidewalk, but bikes and trikes are not, as far as I know.
Yeah, we'd have to check even on the electric scooter, but that's a good question, really. Safety is a big concern. That's one of the main reasons why people don't ride bicycles. The thing is, the infrastructure is improving all the time. And in fact, San Diego just released a new bicycle master plan, and they're looking at making things more connected, more safe. So,
So one more question and then.
okay, last question.
I have a question, Steve. Are there laws where you have to use the bike lane in the same direction of the traffic, or can you go in either direction on either side of the street?
So bicycles are expected to follow the same traffic laws as cars. So if you, I mean, it always annoys me when somebody's coming the opposite direction in a bike lane. They shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, a couple of meetings ago, when I was leaving here, there were 3 or 4 kids coming the wrong way down Claremont Mesa Boulevard, and I darn near took them out
Yeah.
because of that.
No, I mean, bicycles are expected to follow all the same laws. We see people on bicycles all the time who are not following the laws, but we also see people in cars who are not following the laws too. And they're more dangerous.
Right, right.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much.
All right, so Marilyn is going to talk about membership now and volunteers. Thanks very much.
Actually, I'm going to talk about a few more things other than membership today, too. So, first of all, I wanted to talk about our Honor Flight letter writing campaign, which is scheduled for tomorrow at 1 o'clock at the clubhouse. And for those of you that know about it, it's an opportunity for us to write thank you notes to veterans of World War II, Korean War, and the Vietnam War. And we have a group called Honor Flight here in San Diego that that takes 90 of these veterans to Washington, D.C. for a long weekend and treats them to visiting all the sites in Washington and giving them recognition for all that they've done during these wars. And the big surprise at the end of their trip on their way back to San Diego is they have what they call mail call. And those of you that have been in the military know how important mail call is. And so they ask organizations like ours to write letters of thank you notes, thank you cards to these veterans, and they receive them during mail call. And I put an article in the Vibes this month about it, and I'll be glad to take any questions you have. But right now, just walked in as Gunner, right on cue. And Gunner was an honoree several years ago on the Honor Flight. And he's the one that introduced us to this wonderful program. We have participated 5 times now. This will be our 6th time. And I'm asking if any of you would be willing to come tomorrow to the clubhouse at 1 o'clock and pen a few thank you notes to our veterans. If you can't do that, there are 2 options. I brought some military themed thank you cards, and today after the meeting, if you take a minute and write a note to a veteran, just address it, dear veteran, and I have sample notes that you can copy from. And if you don't have time today after the meeting to do a note card or 2, you can take some of these home, maybe 5, 6, 10 of them, write on them and get them back to the clubhouse. Leslie and Cassandra will accept them this week. I need them by Friday though. So if you take some home. But so you have 3 options. Do 1 or 2 today, take some home and work on them, or come to the clubhouse and join us all. I have a real good group of people that come time after time and do these these thank you notes, and it's much appreciated. So last year we did 250 note cards, and I'm hoping to have more this year. The other thing I wanted to point out is that not only did we have Gunner who participated in the honor flight, someone told me there's a gentleman from Tierra Sana who's on this year's honor flight. Does anyone know? I don't know who told me that, but I don't even know the name. Joyce?
He doesn't live here anymore. He moved from Florida, but he's on the honor flight next week, I think.
Okay, I don't know if you heard Joyce say, but he used to live in Tierra Sana, but now he lives in Florida, and he's going to be on an honor flight. But two other coincidences we had was Leslie Fitzpatrick, who's one of our members, her father-in-law was on the honor flight, and she was going through his thank you notes, making a scrapbook for him, and she saw two letters that were from the village, and she recognized the signature of the village. You can sign your thank you note your own name, or you can sign it in the name of, just put TVSD or Tierra Sana Village if you want. So anyway, that's with our honor flight. That was my first big announcement. And second of all, later this month, because membership is also volunteer, we have the volunteer appreciation event. It's going to be April 28th, and April is National Volunteer Month. And usually our village does something to honor and recognize our volunteers. And I look around this room, and almost everybody I see has volunteered in some way or another for the village. I see the board president, Jenny. I see Mark and Joe, who are here month after month volunteering. I see someone like Jenny, who's set up our guest speaker today and volunteered to lead the discussion. I see Carmela, who's a neighborhood group leader. I see Ron Roberts, who drove Tony to I don't know how many exercise classes, volunteered. I mean, I look around and almost everybody in this room has volunteered in some way. So we want to recognize our volunteers, and we're going to do that on Tuesday, April 28th at Heavenly Yogurt right here in Tierra Sana. They're one of our partners. And come to Heavenly Yogurt on that day, and the hours are, I think it's 2 to 5, and you get a free yogurt. And come with some friends who volunteered, no matter what you do. Even if you just drive someone somewhere or offer your house for a meeting or for an event, please come and be recognized for what you do for the village. We couldn't exist without our volunteers. This is going to be open house style, so you can come anytime between 2 and 5. There'll always be someone from the village there to mix with. I'll be there myself the whole 3 hours, but members of our volunteer membership committee will be there. Board members will be there to honor you. So please come and get your free yogurt and be recognized. And now the next thing is our volunteer of the month. This volunteer has been a member for almost 3 years. She joined in May of 2023. And she's done a lot of volunteering in that time. I'd like you to recognize Claire Roberts. Claire is a member of the Care and Wellness Committee. She comes every Thursday morning and sets up mahjong. She comes, gets the clubhouse ready, gets the tables ready, gets it all set up and cleans up and so forth. And those of us that play mahjong, we really appreciate that. If you came to the St. Patrick's Day potluck, you saw Claire there as one of the hostesses. She volunteers as needed for the social committee. Anyway, Claire, thank you so much for all that you do. Okay, and I think that's all the announcements I have today. So thank you.
Thanks. Carolyn? Oh,
Yeah, I just want to add something about.
Oh, wait a minute, microphone.
Why don't you, your make speech? Take this.
It's not worth the microphone, but just, oh, that's right. Hi, people online. I just want to say we have many veteran members of the honor of TVSD, and they are eligible to go on an honor flight, and they should do that. That's a way of participating also, because they want our veterans to experience that honor.
All right. Okay, Bradlin is going to talk about care and wellness.
Good afternoon, everybody. We have a banner month this month from the Care Committee. We have not one, not two, but three peer-to-peer things going on. We have on Friday, this Friday. Not yet, not yet. All right, not yet. I want to do this first. On Friday, we have the CPR classes going to be right here in this room on Friday at 1 o'clock. And if you haven't registered and you want to do it, those of you who went through this social connections craziness with me, I explained that what you should do if you're all by yourself and you have heart attack. And who was it? Lori? Lori, no, it was Claire. Who was it that corrected me or said, no, no, no? Who was that? Anyway, somebody said, no, no, that's all wrong. You shouldn't do it that way. And so we ended up with two sets of things of what you should do. Well, I like that if you're home, you really should unlock your front door, have filled out the stuff that goes on your refrigerator so that the paramedics will know what medicine you're taking and what your health conditions are. But lay down. All right, just do nothing. Take some aspirin, maybe, because they all say take aspirin. But what do you do if you're out and about and you're having a heart attack? Now, see, that's why the other one sounded like, well, maybe they.
That was Barbara Lester, by the way.
Oh, it's Barbara. Was it Barbara? No, it was not. It was a name, though. Who was it? It was somebody I know. I know that. Anyway, so they said that her friend in, oh, I know who it was. It was Barbara Solomon.
Barbara.
Barbara Solomon? Yeah, because she said her friend in Hawaii, if you haven't read it, I'm telling you about it. Her friend in Hawaii said, no, you should not do that because what she said is that's a myth that's been going around for a long time and it's wrong. But she didn't say that that was wrong when you're all by yourself and God knows where, because, you know, she said cough and hit your head. Is that what it was? No, rub your belly and hit your head. No. Anyway, so because I'm going to this class on Friday, I'm going to ask, what do you do in your middle of nowhere? And you have, you know, you're getting a heart attack, or at least you think you are. What should you do? Because what they said about the house thing is right, but they didn't address what do you do when you're by yourself in a God knows where place. And so I will get back to you on that one because I want to know too what to do so I can impregnate my mind millions of times so I don't forget it if it should happen. But anyway, so if you were interested Friday, let me know because I have to let them know if you're coming because you're getting certified and I need to send them your information. So.
You extend that?
Yeah, you know, I can tell them until Thursday. Yeah, so let me know. And then on Friday, April the 17th, which is the next week after that, 7 days later, we're having those people who went through the workshops for decluttering wanted to have a kind of a check-in moral what do they call that? When you have to face your maker and your whatever. So we decided we would have a follow-up session to find out how many of you are really doing anything or if you're just BSing, you know. I happen to be a BSer, but Janelle she's the one who cleans. Anyway, so we're having a workshop at 1:00 in this room. And last but not least, see, you were wrong. Look at all the things we're doing. She doesn't go to the care committee, so she has an excuse. Anyway, on Friday, as she said, April the 24th. Now, what she didn't say, and it's to me is a real incentive to join this particular group of on the 24th, is we're going to set up a field trip. And all of us are going to go downtown and have lunch and come back on the bus system. Doesn't that sound fun? Does to me. Anything to have a lunch, right? That would be fun. So those three things are coming up. Now, seriously, one of the biggest things I hear when I go to exercise class is, I don't want to get on the floor. I can't get up on the floor. I don't want to get on the floor because I don't know how to get up on the floor. So I did some research because you know what? That's really important to be able to get up off the floor. I don't know about you, but I've heard tales. One of my best friends lost her mother that way. She fell in the kitchen with no way to get. She broke something. She was not able to crawl for anything, and they didn't check on her for days. So you can imagine she was in very bad shape when they did find her, because, you know, a lot of times when the guys fall, we can't, as women, pull up. Like I couldn't pull up Steve if he fell down. There'd be no way I could do that. You know, so what did we do? And so I found two videos. The first one, which is how do you get up off the floor? And I thought, oh, that's really nice. But the second one is what I want you to really pay attention to, because it says, oh, I can't do that. Are you kidding? I can't do that. The second one teaches you how to break it down into little steps so you can practice doing a little step at a time, and eventually you will get off the floor. Okay? So go to it, Mark.
That's the first one.
Yeah, that's the first.
Okay.
Getting up from the ground can be really difficult if you've got painful, stiff knees from arthritis or a knee replacement. But there's a simple trick I call the line and pivot technique that makes it much easier to get up without having to kneel. So in this video, I'm going to show you what this technique is, how to use it to get up, whether you have something to assist you or nothing at all. And I'll show you a simple exercise that makes this technique a breeze. Okay, let's start off with a situation where you've got nothing around you to help you to get up, but you don't want to get stranded. Start off by letting your knees drop apart. Then decide which is your strongest leg and put the foot of that leg as close as you can to your other knee. Don't worry if it doesn't end up being that close. Next, place your hand as close as you can to your backside with your fingers facing away from your body. This helps to lock your elbow straight, making that arm stronger. You want your foot, hand and thigh to be in a rough line. Then twist to place your other hand on the ground in front of you and push with your leg to pivot your body around. From here, walk your hands towards your legs. And finally, get both of your hands onto your knees to help push yourself up. All you have to remember is line and pivot anytime you need to get up from the ground. Form a line with your foot, thigh and hand, or as close as you can manage, then pivot to begin coming up. Now, if you have a sturdy chair or a wall, you can make this easier, but the trick here is the position of both of your hands. Make sure your bottom hand in your line is nice and close to the wall. Angle your line at about 45 or 60 degrees from the wall so that you can place your other hand right at the base of the wall too. Then when you pivot, walk your hands up the wall. The same applies to a sofa. Scoot closer to the sofa. Set up your hands so both are right at the base of the sofa. Then pivot and walk your hands up the sofa. You can use a railing, a pole, a tree, or anything sturdy to help. An alternative method, if this seems too hard, is to scoot to a stair or low object. Here you can back your way up a stair or two. Then either use one hand on your knee and the other hand on the stair to push yourself up, or use your line and pivot technique from that higher position. The line and pivot technique uses your chest and your triceps. So this exercise I'm going to show you now will help to make it easier and give you the confidence to do it anytime. Using a low object like the third or fourth step of a stair, a sturdy coffee table, or your sofa, practice doing a push-up followed by a body bend. Alternate between both until light fatigue, once a day to build strength. Now, if you're pretty restricted in your movements, it's always safest to have someone to help, so try to carry your phone with you at all times to call someone for assistance. And as I said, you need strength to use this technique. Strength is the key to independence. So to see the simplest way to keep the most important areas of your body strong, watch this video next.
See the other one now?
Yeah.
This one's a little trickier because it's on Instagram, Madeline, and it's actually not the right aspect ratio because it's phone size.
Phone size. Okay.
Back up again. So many of you asked how to start working toward this goal. And this is exactly where you begin. Not on the floor, but by building the strength and mobility first. Start by opening the hips with seated hip taps using blocks or even books. Then bring one knee towards your chest and hold, either under the thigh or over the shin. These are great for hip mobility. Leg extensions strengthen the muscles that support the knees. So many struggle with weak or painful knees, and this is often where we need to start. Sit to stand is a functional movement we want to maintain for life, and it directly translates into getting on and off the floor. We need to build single leg strength and get comfortable getting down on one knee. Always work in your pain-free range. Because most of us will need to use our hands to get up from the floor, push-ups are important to build upper body strength. When you're ready, you can start walking your hands down your thighs and back up again, and eventually into inchworm walkouts on the floor. You don't have to do all of these, just pick a few and get started. Every little bit builds independence. When I posted this video of Mom and I getting down on the floor and back up again, so many of you asked how to start working toward this goal. And this is exactly where you begin. Not on the floor, but by building the strength and mobility first. Start by...
Will these be on the permanent recording of this? If members wanted to go back and look at it, where they're doing.
In order to get to the one you just saw, you have to have an Instagram
Instagram account.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right.
The first one, the first,
YouTube link.
how about the first one?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Georgia, do you want to do social real quick?
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Hola. Hola. Actually, we're supposed to have Mark do this in Spanish, but we forgot to ask him. So our next big event is Friday Fiesta.
It used to be taco party, but we're not having tacos.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're not making tacos this year. We're trying something different.
Do you want to?
So it's being catered by El Indio. And we are going to go pick up, or no, they are going to deliver, but they'll already be made, so nobody has to make their own. some cocktail burritos, enchiladas, and taquitos.
Taquitos.
And then we'll have guacamole and salsa and their delicious chips and rice and beans.
What is it? It is Friday, May 1st.
So it's May Day Friday
May Day
Fiesta.
Friday Fiesta. There you go. At the TLC. Starts at 5:30 to 7:30. Very, very important. Registration cutoff will be April 27th. No exceptions.
This is the hard part of being in charge of a social event. It's very, you don't sleep a couple of nights beforehand because you feel bad because people will call and say, I'm so sorry, I meant to register, but I forgot to register. And we've already turned in the count to the caterer, and then we'd lose sleep. So it's just try to meet the deadline.
We'll send out reminders and stuff.
But there's not another meeting beforehand because our Friday Fiesta is May 1st, and our meeting isn't until after that. So this is it.
Yeah. Cost is $23. And we will provide water. But you're welcome to bring any kind of drink, cocktail, margarita, whatever you like to either share or have at your table.
There is a good planning team on this, and we're all said that we'd be willing to pick up a bottle of margaritas, at Costco. So we'll share those.
And Mark's going to dance Mexican style.
And this is a new treat. We're going to have a piñata.
Oh,
it's not going to be filled necessarily with candy. Ooh, it's going to be filled with some other things. We're not telling you. You have to come in order to get it.
Yeah. Oh, we're also going to have homemade desserts. People are going to make cookies and stuff. So it's going to be, we have some really good bakers in the group. So that's going to be fun.
Okay.
Aww. Okay. No, it'll be fun. Okay. No, one more. Casual conversation is this month is going to be on April 14th. It's a Tuesday. And Ginny kind of leads that, and she's like perfect for this because the topic is going to be spring cleaning. So, so if you want to do some spring cleaning before the event, then you might find things that like, oh, I bet someone would want this picture or would want, this blanket or something. So feel free to bring your things that you don't want and see if you can, dispose of it that way. Last thing is Patriots Day is Saturday, May 16th. Are we participating?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then for the next event coming up will be Cornhole in June. So that will be on June 19th. We'll get more information about that. So that's it. Any questions? No? Okay, cool. All right. Hola. Goodbye.
Hola. Wonderful.
Okay. So I allowed time for the neighborhood groups, the two carols, and we're running a little late. And so okay.
Just use the mic. Here we go.
First of all, to thank all we have several new captains who have stepped up and are doing a great job, and I thank them. Since the beginning of the year through May, every group will have met. Some have already met, several have meetings coming up between now and the end of May. And so thanks to everybody for that. Hopefully either Jenny or Marilyn will be at one or all of those meetings to kind of fill everybody in and answer any questions that anybody, especially new to the group, has.
Okay.
Quick.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, we're
Christine?
meeting, Jenny, the Tambor group is meeting at our house on Friday, and we have 22 registered, something like that. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Good to see all of you. Before I finish or get started with my business manager report, I wanted to introduce our new partner, Karen Brothers with Karen Brothers and Company Organizing and Design. So if you're like me, you're someone who could really use the expertise. So I'm excited to pick your brain and learn along the way. she's going to do an amazing presentation during our summer speaker series. We're going to repeat our summer speaker series this year. So will you tell them a little bit about
Yes.
that presentation?
Yes, so very nice to meet you all. And aside from being a partner with TVSD, my mom, who just moved here from Florida, I'm going to plug her in so you'll get to know her as a member and she'll get to meet all of you because I can tell you're a real spunky group and she likes spunk. So, so that's awesome. So I'm doing a presentation this summer. It's called Your Life Well Organized. So a lot of times we think about our space, right? Our home and the garage and the kitchen and the bathroom and the closet, but we're going to talk about your life well organized. So imagine a home that truly supports the life you want to live. A space that's easy to maintain, brings you joy, and gives you the freedom to focus on what matters most. Whether you're in a season of travel, hosting gatherings, pursuing new passions, or simply seeking more peace, an organized home can be a powerful tool to help you get there. In this inspiring and practical presentation, we'll uncover the surprising reasons behind clutter. It's not the same for everybody. Help you shift your mindset to break free from old habits and share simple, effective DIY solutions so you can create more order in your home and in your life. And you'll also discover unexpected ways that organization can open doors to more freedom, creativity, and connection. You'll leave energized and empowered to create a well-organized life, one that allows you to spend less time managing your stuff and more time doing what you love.
Just thought of 10 things I could already ask you. So thank you.
Yes,
very
thank you.
much.
I'm excited to be a part.
Yeah, thank you. Wonderful. Oh, good. Exciting. I also want to thank Ginny for that wonderful presentation, for arranging Steve. No, really. And then for Bradlyn for that video, because as I was watching all that, I was thinking back to the Blue Zone documentaries that some of us watched together. And remember one of the main things among those regions that have the most centenarians is movement, right? It's constant movement. They move throughout the day. They walk to all the stores. They don't drive to work and sit at their desk and then get home and sit in front of the TV. And we kind of engineered ourselves to poor health. So I think that was wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so we have the parade, as Georgia said, Saturday, May 16th. Who's walking in the parade? Abby? Is Abby going to be there? Yeah, maybe. Dogs are welcome. Fur babies are welcome. So I'm going to pass around the sign-up sheet. Please let us know if you're going to be there. Some of you may have also gotten an email from the Tirasana Foundation. Who has heard about this plan to revitalize the local fire station? As everybody's been catching that in the news, yeah. If you have not been in there, this is your chance. May 9th, there's going to be an open house. Go down there and take a look. The guys are wonderful. And you'll see, though, that it's definitely they've outgrown their space. So they need some help. They're in a very important part of our community. So May 9th, 1 to 3 p.m., open house. We have volunteered to provide the desserts for that event. So if there's some bakers out there or somebody who's willing to purchase some baked goods and share those, that would be wonderful. If you could sign up for that also on the same sheet, that would be great. And then we will follow up with you with more information and details. Joyce is helping run that. Do you have anything else to share?
No, we had it organizing. I had to just.
Gotcha.
I'll know more.
Okay, so the final details are still in the works, but we know we're providing desserts. I'm sure all of us are more than happy to do that for those amazing guys and women that help us out there. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me and I will be happy to help. And we will not be at the craft fair this year, but we will be in the parade. We've got a brand new banner with the new logo. So please plan to be there. It's a mile walk from the high school to the library, and then we shuttle people back. Okay. So one other partner announcement, this one's been in the works for a while. Reliable Builders has joined, a gentleman named Michael Solomon, a wonderful general contractor. And since Mark has a microphone back there, did you want to just talk a little bit? You were one of the members who recommended him to the village, and so did Georgia. Did you want to maybe say something about your experience with Michael?
Yeah, I mean, Michael's a great guy. He's done a couple of projects around our house, and I found him through a company. He actually bought a company that did one of our bathrooms, and then when I followed up with that company to do more work, Michael was the guy that showed up instead of the guy that originally owned the company. And it's been nothing but great experiences with him. And in our particular demographic, I can't remember the name of the building, but over at Nobel and Genesee, the high rises across from the parking garage, Casa something or other, but they're a semi-retirement community. They're independent. It's not an organized independent living place, but they're dominated by seniors, these couple of neighboring buildings. And I wish I could remember the name of it, but Michael is the contractor to the developer of those buildings, and he has done a lot of remodels in those buildings for aging in place and our demographic. So he's very experienced with that sort of thing.
Yeah, he seems like a really great match, and he's very passionate about family. And I think his family wants to start a village down in where Nashville City? Is that where he's located? Chula Vista, something like that. Yeah, in Georgia. I know you have.
Is this on?
You recommended,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. I got the recommendation from Mark and Denise, and he remodeled my bathroom, and the craftsmanship of his people were just amazing. No, I mean, I was extremely happy.
I appreciate his responsiveness and all that good.
And that's the other thing. And he's just a really nice guy. Like you could tell he's just very honest. I've worked with a lot of contractors.
Good.
And yeah, I would highly recommend him.
Thank you. So come by and see everybody at the fair. Both Karen and Michael will be there. Thank you. So that is the other big news, of course. I think it's about 15 days away is our second resource fair right here on property. You might remember that I was nervous last year about parking and space in this room. Feeling very comfortable about all that. So please park here. No need to park at TLC. There's two wonderful presentations in this room. One's on scams and one's by Jonathan Swartz, Thriving After 65. The first one will be put on by the FBI and the San Diego Seniors Foundation in this room. So it's 9:30 and 10:30 for the presentation. So plan your morning accordingly. 9 o'clock though, everything opens. We've got a great team at our welcome tent, coffee, snacks, treats, all that good stuff. So please invite your friends and family, spread the word. There's some extra handout. Who got the mailer of, yes, I always love seeing this. Okay, very good. Please grab a couple extras and share those with your friends. You'll see them around town. And then I did just want to also thank the volunteers. We have all volunteer shifts filled. Thank you so much. And also thank you for raffle donations. That was wonderful too. So we're all set to go. So thank you. Yay.
Still not raffle.
Sure. Thank you.
Right.
So now the Ginny with a G is going to give us our president's report.
In case you didn't know, I went to the Birch Aquarium this morning with my grandkids there in town, and I asked my kids what the important thing they learned today, and they learned that the blue penguins poop 145 times a day. That's it. But they learn. Little boys, they're so different than girls. They talk about poop all the time. Okay, that was way off topic. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. They're so cute. You wouldn't think. Okay. All right, let's get serious. I've attended the last two Village California Movement conferences, and by far the topic that was talked about most was advocacy. The speakers kept repeating how important it was that we reach out to our government officials and let them know why villages like ours are really critical components of the aging process. And I must admit, when I first heard this 2 years ago, I listened with one ear because I thought, oh, for goodness sakes, we worry about having a full calendar of events. Are the committees running well? Are people connected and happy? I do not have time to go out and think about government initiatives or speaking with government officials. But it wasn't until I got on the board this second time around that I realized that advocating and educating government officials is crucial to our movement process, especially when it comes to funding opportunities. Raul Campillo, how you say his name? I always say him, he's the nicest man. Our district council member, he came to our resource fair last year, and we're hoping he's going to come again this year. In his February edition of his newsletter that he puts out, he highlighted Terrasana Village and the resource fair. A city grant administered through his office covers most of the cost of the event, because you know how expensive advertising costs are. And the grant fund that we got from his office allows us to advertise the fair and at the same time simultaneously brings awareness to our village. Working with him also is our first step towards increasing the hours at the tier, getting the budget, help with the budget so that we can increase the hours at the Terrasana Recreation Center. We're constantly fighting with that recreation center, with our recreation center, for more hours, for exercise classes, and for early access to the building. So his office hopefully will help us with that. Another thing, when we shared our workspace issues with Mayor Todd Gloria, he suggested that we contact the San Diego Seniors Community Foundation, which is a local nonprofit advocacy group we've mentioned before. And we've created a great partnership with them, thanks to his advice, partnered with them on events, and have received grant money from him, or from the foundation. Last Tuesday, Gunnar and Cassandra and Bradley and I had the opportunity to visit Joel Anderson's office. He's our county supervisor, and they had an open house, and we were able to thank him in person for his help. The community enhancement grant that we got from his office, facilitated through his office, helps us significantly to subsidize the cost for the exercise classes and the ADA rental, the accessible rental places. So we could just shake his hand. We got about 2 minutes with him, had a picture, but he saw us eye to eye and recognized us, and it was a nice experience. In fact, when we walked in that building, the interns, we shook our hands, introduced ourselves, and they knew who we were.
Nice people.
Nice people. They recognized us and said, "Oh, I know who you are. You're doing some wonderful things." So it felt really good. There has been several village members, I know Joyce, I know Marilyn, that over the years have spent a lot of time researching and looking for alternate places for our village to meet. We've dreamed of having a senior resource center here in Terrasana forever. The pastor at Terrasana Lutheran Church has stated that he would love to work with us at some time to build something on his site. He's willing to do that. Maybe that we're hoping that with our relationship with the San Diego Senior Foundation and our elected officials that we're establishing relationships with, we'll make that dream a reality at some point. We hope just to have some initial meetings maybe at the beginning of next year, and it's definitely a long-term goal, but it's a worthy one. So our city officials, part of their job is to hear from their constituents. They need to hear real life member stories about what's happening, how we learn how we can support their initiatives, and they in turn can support the work that we do at our village. There's one way that we can help by subscribing to their newsletters. Both Joel Anderson and Campillo have newsletters. How many have subscribed to them? It's a great way to learn about them. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and it's really interesting to hear what they're working on and their interests and what areas of interest they have that deal with seniors. Because if we can learn what their initiatives are about, then when we interact with them, we can support them, and they can see how we can support what they really want to do in their initiatives. So there's 4 P's that we're to remember: participate, partner, promote, and persist. So Cassandra is the Energizer Bunny on this. She has worked diligently to establish relationships with these local officials and their staff. So the grants that her and her committees have been working on are a tremendous booster to our budget. So we're very fortunate it enables us to do more. In fact, when we were at Joel Anderson's office, she was able to meet the gal who works at the office that she telephoned about several times, helping her to write the grant. Because we're also applying for a neighborhood reinvestment grant that would give us money to support our member services plan. It's in the works. We're hoping to get it. But she recognized Cassandra's name and said, oh, I didn't mind helping you. Cassandra could thank her. She could see members of the board there. And we were able to thank her for doing that. And she was really excited about what we were doing at the village and was really hoping that we get the grant. So it felt good to be there. So the boards are going to continue to support Cassandra in her efforts to get to know these officials, and that way we can strive and meet the goals of our mission. Okay. Marilyn, you get to do everything but
We have quite a list of birthdays in April. I don't know what was going on 9 months before April, but we have a long list. First of all, we have an anniversary, Kathy and Tom Passios celebrating their 26th wedding anniversary. Birthdays on April 4th, Maureen Le Danseur. April 6th, which is today, is Leslie Pacuba. I don't think Leslie's here. She's probably out having birthday cake. Okay. Then we have some birthday twins. On the 7th, Marilyn Chatilla and Claudette Steinhauer. Another set of birthday twins on the 8th, Marilyn Licht and Jenny Batterson. Where's Jenny? There she is. Happy birthday. So your birthday's in 2 days.
Yep.
Okay, great. And then on the 9th is Libby Clemmer. On the 10th, Susie Rumsey. And then we have birthday twins on the 17th. Mike Sisson. Mike. And did you know your birthday twin is Dan Collinsback? He's a fairly new member. His wife, Delise, has been a member for a long time. But so Mike and Dan are birthday twins. The 18th is Hilton Sunday. The 21st is Pam Hooks. The 23rd is Patrick Guilfoyle. The 24th, Euphemia. Happy birthday, Euphemia. She's a fairly new member. If you want to know about restaurants, talk to Euphemia. She's recommended some fabulous places. The 25th is Mike Roman. And the 26th is Ron Roberts. There's Ron. Okay, so happy birthday to our villagers.
We're not getting away with
Oh, okay.
no pitch pipe, so there's
Okay.
Marilyn, lead us in.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear villagers. Happy birthday to you. Many more. Thank you. Okay.
Ladies. All right, so we have managed to make it through with 10 minutes to spare.
So if anybody has an announcement or something they want to share, come up to the podium or ask for a mic. We can do that. Well, thank you all very much for coming. I can fill out time talking about transportation if anybody is willing to listen, but there's here a handout talks about the meeting on the 24th, and it also sorry, I shouldn't remember, right? It also summarizes some of the information that the CARE committee has come up with. And a few of the relevant options from something that San Diego County puts out called Ride Well to Age Well. And if anybody wants to get in touch with me either through the Time Bank or just on an interpersonal basis, I'd be glad to help walk anybody through how you put the app called One Bus Away on your phone that helps tell you when the next bus is coming or how to get where you want to go. You can also go onto your computer or your phone and look up bus routes and trolley routes. I'm also happy to be a bus buddy or a trolley buddy for anybody who hasn't ridden the bus or the trolley very much and is feeling a little bit hesitant about going by yourself. I don't typically ride it real late at night, but it's kind of a handy way to get around once you get used to it. It just takes a while.
You know,
Cassandra?
the other day I saw the bus pull up to the curb, lower itself, and the stairs folded out, became a ramp so somebody could come on easily with their walker, then fold it back into stairs. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the bigger buses do that. I don't know if the 25, if our local one
Oh, yeah.
has a ramp, but they've since I started riding the buses, they've gotten some newer buses where the first step is much lower. So you don't have the big gap and there's a handrail. So, you know, if you're a little bit creaky like I am, you grab the rail and it's just a fairly easy step to the first step. So anyway, thank you. Yes. So there are a couple of options. You can pay cash. When Jean goes with me, she has her roll of quarters. So it's 5 quarters, you put it in the slot. Or if you ride it pretty frequently, you can get a pass. Now, to get a pass, you, I think, initially have to go down to the transit center at 12th and Imperial downtown, and they'll check to make sure that you're over the age limit. Right now, my pass is good until I'm 95. So, once you get it set up, it's fairly easy and you can renew it automatically from month to month. It's it'll probably go up. It's for seniors, it's $23 a month for unlimited rides on the bus or the trolley. And you just swipe it whenever you get on the bus or the trolley. The trolley, actually, there's a little machine at the trolley stations, but in the bus, there's a swipe, or you can put it on your phone, which I haven't gotten sophisticated enough to do yet. But I've seen people, you know, you just stick your phone under and it, you know, recognizes that, hey, that's your pass. I think it may be free for students, but it's really, really inexpensive, and it may go up, but it's very inexpensive for seniors. Yes.
Jenny, you can also get a Pronto card that's a senior version, and you can load it with money, but you don't have to pay a full monthly rate of any kind. You can just use it, reload it as you need to. You swipe it on the little pedestal or whatever they have at the trolley
Yeah, good
or on
point.
the bus, but you don't have to have a a flat rate monthly fee. You can just use it on the when you do.
It's sort of like a debit card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pronto.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about using a credit card? Does it accept credit cards instead of the official?
I don't know whether you can use a credit card on the bus. You can use credit cards for trolley passes.
And then okay, so you can use a credit card for the trolley pass, but maybe not for the bus.
I'm not sure about the bus. I don't know. Sorry. Oh.
We have one more unrelated announcement.
Okay, sure.
I need to stand up. Well, I was just going to invite everybody to come to Roundtable afterwards for a bite to eat, time to socialize with one another. And we stopped in there yesterday And their newest thing that they were advertising are their barbecue bourbon chicken wings. If that sounds appealing, stop in.
Okay, so Linda is inviting us to Round Table where the newest item on the menu is barbecue bourbon chicken wings. And if we want, we can go and socialize and have a bite to eat after the meeting is over. Thank you. Anything else? Yeah, Marilyn.
Don't forget to write a thank you note to our veterans. I've got pens, I've got sample notes, and I've got the menu cards. So if you'll take a minute and do one or two, and if you want to take some home, please feel free to take cards home. Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks everybody for coming.
I have an answer on the credit card thing. They do accept contactless credit cards, no swiping or no chips. You have to have the tap kind. Credit cards and debit cards.